What is your American dream?
My American dream is we all get along and love each other.
My American dream is for my grandchildren to have all the opportunity that they should have, fulfill their own dreams, and be fully American citizens.
My American dream is peace, humanity, and justice for all.
My American dream is for people of all faiths, colors, religions to come together and to rebuild a system so that it works for everyone.
We'll all come together and become the democracy that we really are, and the strong, caring people that we are.
My American dream is no poverty, that young black men shouldn't get shot.
My American dream is that we can be a wonderful, colorful, diverse America, that we just all love each other and accept each other as we are.
My American dream is that every single American, every single person on earth is treated with the same respect and dignity afforded to everybody. Every single human on this planet should be treated with love and compassion.
We continue to aspire to what I think we can be as a country, which is what the Statue of Liberty says we are. It's just a welcoming country that's a democracy.
My American dream is a nation of immigrants that loves each other without any barriers of color, race, or class.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, March 12th. I am here with Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. My name is Brad Bernstein. And Jonathan, what a 21 hours since we got off the air.
A lot
has changed.
A lot.
We had a great, well, first of all, Vanessa.
Our lovely Nesquick.
Nesquick is not here. She's fine.
She's fine, guys.
You always have to now, preface that.
Yeah.
And then when you walk down the street, if there's a cough, you run from the person, right?
I give them a look.
Yeah, don't be coughing. Don't be coughing on the street.
Right. What are you doing?
So we had a great hump day yesterday, and we all walked out very happy.
We did.
Our president, Donald Trump, was telling everybody not to worry about coronavirus. The United States government has everything under control.
Yeah.
And then I got home, and as I got home, I got a notification on my telephone that Donald Trump will be making a speech. So I thought that his speech would be something to akin that, maybe we need to build more walls, get out more MAGA hats to people, insult Joe Biden or Hunter Biden.
Right.
But instead he came out and he made a 180-degree about face about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
He had finally admitted to some extent the severity of the problem that we have here in the United States of America. And it was a very sobering reality. And since then, we've had a lot of changes to our life that will affect us not only for today, but for the next couple of weeks. And hopefully, I pray that our government is able to get this under control. I have a concern. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Jonathan, how are you? Are you sobered up, or what's going on with you over here?
No, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm chilling. I already told you my theory.
Yes, we'll talk about that theory in a second. Because the NBA said that your theory is out of whack a little bit.
No,
but you have a rebuttal to that.
I have a rebuttal.
You have a rebuttal to that. I know. I heard it already.
Strong.
So let's first say hello to the squad. And when I say hello to the squad, not only squad up, but please stay safe.
Yes.
It's so important to sanitize. I mean, literally wash your hands wherever you go.
Yeah, don't rely on hand sanitizers only. Soap. You got to wash your hands.
Correct. And also, if you have a weakened immune system, you are over the age of 70, or you live with somebody over the age of 70, you have to take a responsibility to be extra cautious and not really go outside until this is under control.
I'm happy you said that, because I think that's one of the things that a lot of the young people aren't really thinking about. It's like, oh, if I do get it, I'm not gonna die. It's just like another cold. But you have to understand like who you live with, who you still come in contact with. So if you do live with, an older parent, a grandparent, or you visit them, you have to understand that they are the ones that are at risk that you can bring it to. So,
that is very true.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're gonna get to more coronavirus.
Yeah, we have a lot.
We have a lot to talk about today. But let's say hello to Case Stages. Squad up. Jessica Leamy, Joel Reed. Squad up. Deion Watson, Esther Tukuma Conte saying hello, Uncle Brad. How are you? Danish Danny, squad up. Lisa Bling Rose checking in. Myrtle Ray is watching. Cordella Douglas sharing the stream.
Yeah.
Lisa Bling Rose saying squad up. Squad up, Lisa. Sydney Bursick, otherwise known as Pizza Pizza, is watching. Carol Anderson the Tiger, we see her taking a peek. And Sugar Sweetness Sunshine Legister has a question. We'll get to you in a little bit. Squad up Karen Saunders and squad up Ma Dukes.
Yeah.
Orlando Guevara checking us out. Deion Reed checking us out. Elizabeth Francis, squad up family. Myrtle Ray, I think I said already. Onoti Oganan with a question about his mom in Nigeria. We'll get to you in a little bit. Shernette Miller saying hi, guys. Emmanuel Freysinit saying hi, squad up. On YouTube, just call me Joel.
Whoa.
Just call me Joel. Says
the
squad
Corona
up.
has got you.
Corona has got me.
You have never said her
squad
name.
up my loves. BK Ricky.
Why you say her name like that?
BK Ricky. All right, Jessica Leamy saying squad up. Back it up, Ricky. I was a little delirious for a second.
It scared me.
Yeah, back it up, Ricky. Good evening. Alicia
that's not the real
Henry.
Brad.
Squad up. Sexy Shan Myers saying, hey, Brad squad. Cindy Albert. The Ext Mel. Text Mel saying squad up, everybody. The XT Mel or Text Mel? I'm not sure. Could be Text.
Text Mel.
Sure. Ken Roy Arnold, squad up. Aries Baby, squad up. Simone Garraway, Shayna Martin, Yara Edwards, and on Instagram, which is slowly starting to build.
Slowly but surely.
Yes, if you build it, they will come. Yeah. We're starting to slowly see Instagram at Bradshaw Live. First Lady Samuel saying hi, Brad. Nesquick. Hello, Nesquick.
What's up?
But no yo-yo.
No.
First Lady Samuels, Forrest Phillip, how are you? Cordella Douglas could be double fisting with a foot. Nivea Hall has joined us. Wahab Changa has joined us. Squad up, Chupsy1234, Shayamal, and official_Temabor saying, hey, Uncle Brad, and hey to you as well. And Jonathan, before we get into some schmoozing more about coronavirus and everything we need to know that is updated up to this very moment.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do to help us get the word out?
Absolutely. All right, everybody on all social media platforms. That means everyone on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, anything that you're on. I need you all to join the Facebook fan page, all right? So this is a very special page because you become a VIS, a very important squaddy. And with joining this page, you actually get the best incentive that I think, which is probably the best gift we can give you. It's a guaranteed answered question. So you guys can throw in your question anytime throughout the day before the show starts. And we will put 5 of those questions before any question that we ask on social media check-in. So make sure you guys join this page. All you have to do is put Bradshaw Live in the search engine for Facebook and make sure it says join so you can actually join.
That's it?
No, were you going to say something?
Nothing. I'm just watching you. I'm just looking at you.
Watching me do my thing.
That's
all
right.
I like that. All right, now everyone on Facebook, I need you all to start sharing, all right? This is very, very important because we're going to have a lot of information that a lot of you guys and your friends and family should know about. Okay, so I need you all to start sharing. Share by clicking the little arrow that says share and share it to anybody's page. You can literally send it to anyone's immediate page. You can type their name in, you can go into different groups. I need you guys to just think outside the box and try and get this out as much as we can, because we have, like I said, a lot of information, not only for immigrants, for just people living. We need you guys to understand that the information that we're gonna give is very vital and very important. All right, so also put in all your comments and your questions in the comment section right now. Show interaction, tag us, tag your friends, tag your family, whoever you're talking to. Like, love, smiley face, sad face, wild face, mad face, whatever you're feeling. Make sure you show that emotion and throw it onto the video, all right? Now, everyone on YouTube, you guys are not off the hook. I need you guys all to subscribe. All right, first things first, subscribe and click the little bell. Yeah, it's a bell notification to make sure you find out when we're going live, when we're putting up a video, because you guys also get notified anytime we upload a video. So we'll throw in different segments or different parts of shows that could actually help you guys. So you have to click that bell notification as well. All right, you guys can also share this video. You could copy the link, send it in any text message app you use. You could use text message app, you could use Viber, you could use WhatsApp. I know you guys know a lot of people outside of the country which will need a lot of the information that we're going to be talking about today. So send this right now. If you send it right now, tell them to log on to YouTube and watch live. All right? I need y'all to do this for us, all right? I need it. And everybody, last but not least, for YouTube, I need you all to throw the thumbs up, all right? Not just the emoji in the comment section. I need you to actually click that gray thumb and make it blue. All right, now for Instagram, you guys are there as well. I need you guys to also send this in a DM. Send it to any of your friends and family. So easy. Just click that little arrow that's pointing to the right, and then you'll be able to send it to anybody you want in DM. And we still have the competition going. Are we gonna be pulling out names next week?
Yes, we will.
We're still gonna be pulling out names. So go to Instagram, our Instagram account. It is Brad Show Live, and a picture should pop up. This is what you're gonna be looking for. Look for this picture in order to enter into this contest. What you get when you win, I'm saying when you win, because I know I feel the winner right now. When you win this contest, you will get a free $200 value, free consultation with Brad Bernstein himself, Uncle Brad. So what you have to do in order to enter is follow Brad Show Live on Instagram, find this post, like it, and tag at least 5 friends. When you tag 5 friends, we'll put your name in once in the name machine. You tag 10 friends, we'll put it in twice. Tag 15, put it in 3 times. You tag 20 friends, we will throw your name in the name machine 4 times, giving you a huge, great chance.
4 times the chance.
4 times the chance of winning a free consultation with that man yourself. Look at him, beautiful. All right, now let's find out what's going on with this Rona. I call her Rona now.
Rona.
We're gonna talk about Rona.
Let me tell you what's going on with Rona.
Schmoozing with Brad.
She's a nasty
She's a nasty girl.
Nasty girl, Rona. Yeah. We left the show all happy. We got home last night to Donald Trump telling the United States of America that the coronavirus is extraordinarily serious. That many people are going to get it. Thousands, we're now told, more than they expect. Maybe perhaps even half of America or more will actually contact or be contracted. Is it contracted with coronavirus? Trump then went on to blame everybody but Trump for the problem of the coronavirus. He blamed the Chinese for starting the coronavirus. He blamed the Europeans for bringing the coronavirus to America. And as a result, he put a ban on travel from every European country but the United Kingdom, which is strange. He also left off some of the Eastern European countries that are not part of the European Union, such as Ukraine, as well as Russia. And I don't understand why there's no coronavirus in the United Kingdom. I don't understand why there's no coronavirus in Russia, why some countries are still allowed in, other countries
Have there been
not.
confirmed cases in
Absolutely. So anybody who is an American citizen or a permanent resident who has visited any of the European Union countries but the United Kingdom, as well as South Korea, as well as China and Iran, in the last 14 days, would be required to have a quarantine when they arrive in the United States. Those people who are not residents and those people who are not U.S. citizens will not be allowed to board an airplane. Not that there's going to be many airplanes traveling back and forth. Now, the theory being is that they don't want more carriers coming into the United States, but I think that ship has already left.
Yeah.
I wish he could have done this perhaps 60 days ago.
Yeah.
Perhaps not only do it with the European Union, but if you really wanted to prevent the spread of the coronavirus throughout the United States of America, you basically close down the country for 14 days. Don't allow anybody in. Don't allow anybody, I mean, if you leave, you can't come back.
Right.
And then test everybody here. And then at that point, quarantine those people who are sick. Don't allow anybody in for 14 days, and then quarantine anybody who's coming in for 14 days after. So you don't allow any more coronavirus in. But now he's done it way too late, and we're still not testing.
Right.
We're getting more people sick than we have testing equipment.
Yeah.
So until the testing equipment gets ahead of the people who are getting sick, more and more people are going to get sick simply because people are walking around with it and don't know they got it.
Right.
But
there's a reason why they're not testing people.
Because they don't have I
feel like they do.
I believe that they just started to deal with this problem in the last week. That prior to this, nobody really gave a lot of thought in the United States government to get tests, to order tests. It was only when Mike Pence was put in charge of the coronavirus response. And what was that? A week ago? 8 days ago? 9 days ago? It was less than 2 weeks ago.
Right.
It was only at that point and by the way, I have no confidence in Mike Pence whatsoever. Okay, but nobody was in charge in the United States up until 7, 8, 9 days ago. This coronavirus existed before Christmas in China. They knew about it. And had the United States had a government and an executive in the White House, such as Donald Trump, a president, who took this thing seriously and put together a task force of scientists that know what they're doing back in December, this could have been prevented. They could have done things. They could have ramped up production of testing equipment.
Right.
They could have stopped. They could have put bans on the border months ago. But there was no scientific community, zero scientific community that was giving Donald Trump any advice. His advice was, I got a hunch. And my hunch is that, when it gets warm, that'll be the end of it.
Right.
Now, it's very interesting. I watched CNN Don Lemon last night, and he had something very interesting to say, which I didn't really give thought to before, which kind of throws Donald Trump's hunch when it gets warm, right out the window.
Okay.
Well, Tom Hanks, we talked about the tipping point, and we said there was going to be a tipping point. I said that the other day. And I said there's going to be a tipping point when somebody famous gets it, and multiple people famous have gotten it in the last 24 hours have come out, and then Donald Trump came out and said we got a huge problem that he did not admit before. The stock market crashed, and now we're at the tipping point.
Yeah.
But Don Lemon on CNN last night so I have to give him credit for thinking of something I didn't think of.
Right. What was it?
He said, if the coronavirus goes away when it's warm, how did Tom Hanks get it if he's in Australia and it's summer there?
Yeah.
He says, so there goes that theory. So it's not going away because summer's coming.
Right.
And it's not going away if you live in a tropical environment. Now, Trump also disassembled when he first came in. The reason why he was going by his hunches is because he disassembled. There was a pandemic response team in the White House that President Obama put into place to deal with issues of a viral outbreak.
Right.
And one of the first things that Donald Trump did when he came into the White House was he disbanded it.
Ooh.
So he had nobody giving him advice. And then he was fake news CNNing for months when the Centers for Disease Control, when other scientists were coming out and saying, we're going to have a big problem. And he's saying, no, everything's fine. We have a perfect response to this pandemic. And quite frankly, there was no response until just recently. So now all of Europe can't come to America, including my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was stuck. She was supposed to come Monday, so she can't come. A lot of countries are now following suit with what the United States is doing. Saudi Arabia has put a ban, and many of the European countries individually have also put a ban on people coming in to their countries, not just the European Union, but the individual countries.
Right.
Czechoslovakia has, the Czech Republic has put a ban on anyone who's not Czech from entering that country. Slovakia also, as of Monday, if you're not Slovakian, you can't enter Slovakia anymore.
Wow.
So they are trying to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Something interesting that Israel did several weeks ago, when the virus started to appear in Israel. As far as all news reports are saying right now, there are 4 people sick in Israel. And what Israel did weeks and weeks ago before any other country was they locked down their country. And what they said was anybody who is coming into Israel, first of all, if you are not an Israeli citizen, you are not allowed into the country.
Okay.
And number 2, if you are an Israeli citizen, you have to be self-quarantined for 14 days before you're allowed out in society. And as a result, Israel actually is one of the safest places to be in the world right now because they prevented the coronavirus from coming into their country.
See?
A lot of these countries, including the United States, is trying to do it now, but Donald Trump is doing a piecemeal. A, it's too late, and B, he hasn't done it for every country.
Right.
And more importantly, at this point, more importantly than Donald Trump banning people from coming into America, and now he, in his speech last night, in his slurred speech last night, I don't know why he was slurring. Everyone has their theories.
Probably because he was reading.
Okay. But he's making I don't know, several $1 trillion or quadrillion billion dollars, whatever it is. I forgot the amount. I don't know if there's such a word as quadrillion billion dollars. But he's making tax breaks, incentives, loans to help the economy. What he needs to do is take all of that money and throw it at every manufacturer in the United States of America, even if they don't make coronavirus testing kits, and get them to start making coronavirus testing kits, even if it has to be done by hand, even if it costs $10,000 a kit. Because it will be cheaper in the long run than treating everybody who gets sick with coronavirus and giving $quadrillion and giving $1 quadrillion in tax cuts. And we'll get the economy going again. Because what will ultimately happen is once everyone is tested, until everybody is tested, we don't know who has coronavirus. We don't know who doesn't have it.
Right.
And as a result, it will spread inadvertently. Because you would, even if you believe that if somebody feels that they have coronavirus, that they're going to self-quarantine, a lot of people are walking around with a cough.
Right.
A lot of people are walking around saying, I don't know, maybe I have it, maybe I don't. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They don't know. But for every person who's walking around who doesn't know that they have it, they're giving it to 10 people.
Yeah.
And until you get all those people off the street, and the only way you do it is by testing the entire country, it's just going to be spreading around.
Yeah.
So, this morning, everybody woke up and didn't know what the hell was going on. And nobody has lived in this type of environment before. The only thing that I can compare it to is 9/11. But in 9/11, we knew who our enemy was. We were able to, was terrorists. People who want to come and bomb America. We don't see our enemy right now. Our enemy is invisible to us.
Scary.
So to me, this is scarier than 9/11. Other people have disagreed with me. I've spoken with people and they said, no, I was much more scared at 9/11 than I am now. And I said, well, to me, I knew who the enemy was.
Right.
I don't see the enemy here. Okay, the enemy could be my best friend.
Yeah.
Could be my partner sleeping in bed next to me.
Yeah.
We don't know who the enemy is because the enemy is whoever's going to get me sick.
Yeah.
In New York, New York has called a state of emergency as of about 5 o'clock this evening, about 30 minutes before we got on the air.
Really?
Yes. New York City is shutting down all of Broadway theaters.
Wow.
Any venue that has over 500 people is not allowed to open. So basically anybody who's having a wedding or a bar mitzvah or any sort of big birthday, they're all got to be canceled. Because by the time you count the people, the wait staff, the back staff, and everybody else, you're at 500 people. Any bar or club that has more than 500 people will be closed. And any bar or restaurant with under 500 people, and this is based on the fire code, can only have 50% of the patrons in that particular restaurant or bar. So basically, New York City nightlife is now over.
Yep.
All within 24 hours. We got off of the show last night and we thought everything was okay. And Donald Trump came on because he was telling the world we're okay.
Right.
And then he came on and said, no, we're not okay.
We're not.
We're not
Actually.
okay. And since then, the world will never be the same. In addition to that, the NBA has closed down their season. The NHL has closed down their season. Now, one of the NBA players, the reason was somebody from the Utah Jazz. What was his name? It was Rudy Gobert.
Oh yeah, Rudy Gobert.
He tested positive for the coronavirus, and as a result, since basketball is basically a full contact sport.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody's touching each other and banging bodies against each other. The NBA had to close down the entire sport because if one player has it, they're all going to get it.
Right.
And Rudy Gobert, being the first African American to get it, basically, as far as we're aware of, at least publicly, which basically throws Yo-Yo's theory of black people don't get coronavirus out the drain.
Nope, it doesn't. Aha. He is biracial, guys. He is mixed with white.
Now, what about Donovan Mitchell, also confirmed this afternoon?
Let me see him.
He is a star guard on the Utah Jazz, also confirmed.
That's him?
That is him. He looks like a white guy, right?
Looks like a white guy.
Now, Donovan Mitchell is also black dude. And so, Yo-Yo, you are spreading absolutely false news. Now, a congressional doctor came and testified before the United States Congress today, and he said as of 2 p.m., this was the official congressional doctor's testimony before the Congress, more than 1,300 people in the United States have been infected with the new coronavirus, and at least 38 people have died. The new one. Now, we had talked about, I said last week on the back of the, but also I said on the back of the Clorox bottle, it said coronavirus, it kills it.
Yes.
But coronavirus has been around for a very long time, but the new coronavirus is the deadly strain that didn't kill people in the past.
Gotcha.
So there have now, according to this congressional doctor, at least 127,000 people worldwide infected, 4,700 people dead. 68,000 people have recovered. The meeting did not have any senators, but was for the administrative staff and the personnel from both parties. Now, I just saw some other statistics.
So once they get it and recovered, are they like immune to it?
Well, I would think so, but you don't know for sure.
Right?
You don't know 100% for sure. I just saw some other statistics. This is from the U.S. and China Centers for Disease Control, from the New York Times and Johns Hopkins University, that 80% of the infections of coronavirus are considered mild, which is you feel like you have the flu and you stay at home. 13.5% are severe, which requires hospitalization. 4.7% of all of the cases worldwide were critical, which required intensive care. So if you are to get coronavirus, 4 out of 5, at least statistically at this moment, you're going to get a bad cold. 1 out of 5, you're going to have a huge, huge problem.
Jeez.
Now, those who are most at risk are over 60 years old. So the people who have had the severe critical problems, the people who have died, 14.5% were over the age of 80. 8% were over the age between 70 and 80. 3.5% were over the age of between 60 and 69. And then it goes down to 1%, 1.5% of the people between 50 and 59, that's my age group, had severe problems. And it drops to 0.5% between age 40 and 49, 0.2% between age 30 and 39, and between 0 to 20, 0.2%. So in essence, based on the statistics at this moment, those at most risk are above 60 years old. The other thing that you have to worry about is if you have an underlying medical condition. So of the people who got sick and needed to be hospitalized and had what was considered a severe illness from coronavirus or may have already died from coronavirus, 10.5% had already an underlying cardiovascular disease, 7.5% had diabetes, 6.5% had a respiratory disease, 6% had abnormally high blood pressure, 5.5% had cancer. Only less than 1% were healthy people who ultimately became very ill and died. So really it comes down to, are you older? Are you unhealthy? Those are the people who are most at risk. It was reported today that Donald Trump had met 5 days earlier at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach with a representative from Brazil who now came today. There he is, smiling next to him, who now today has coronavirus.
Jeez.
So Donald Trump claims he does not have coronavirus. He also met Mike Pence, and Mike Pence
if he did
also,
have it, he wouldn't. I don't think he would come out and say he did, though.
I don't think so either, not at this point. Now, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he is under self-quarantine. His wife came back from a conference in Great Britain, and she came back with flu-like symptoms and a fever. And as a result, they are now both self-quarantining, which then makes me suspicious if Justin Trudeau's wife went to Great Britain and came back perhaps with the coronavirus, why is the ban not cover Great Britain?
Right.
Why is that? We don't know. Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, they tested positive for coronavirus.
They did.
They are over 60 years old, so they are in the higher risk category. They got it in Australia, and Tom Hanks made a Instagram post last night, and he said, "Hello, folks. Rita and I are down here in Australia. We felt a bit tired, like we had colds and some body aches. Rita had some chills that came and went, slight fevers. To play things right, as is needed in the world right now, we were tested for the coronavirus, and we were found positive.
Jeez.
Well, now, what to do next? The medical officials have protocols that must be followed. We Hankses will be tested, observed, and isolated for as long as public health and safety requires. Not much more to it than a one-day-at-a-time approach."
Jeez.
Italy confirmed over 200 deaths in the last 24 hours. I think they are the epicenter now of the coronavirus. In Italy, Jonathan, people are being turned away at the hospitals. They do not have enough hospital beds to treat everybody who's critically ill. And they are now at the stage where doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals are determining who will live and who will die by allowing some into hospitals and giving them on ventilators and others not.
I was reading, there's an article of there's this lady who's like screaming from her balcony She has it. She tested positive, but like her husband had died, so his body is in the house with it, but they can't go and get the body for like 48 hours or something. So she's just like screaming from the balcony, like, you guys, like, my husband's dead in this place, but they can't even go and get him.
Yeah, I saw an article online about an actor who was in Naples whose sister died of the coronavirus, and he did a video of her in bed, dead.
Oh my God.
He has the coronavirus too, and nobody from Italy was coming to get the body.
Yeah, so it's the same thing
Same
that's
thing.
going on. It's scary. This is wild.
Yeah. So if you believe the numbers that the congressional doctor reported today, that between 100 and 150 million Americans are going to end up with coronavirus, and if you believe the numbers that 20% are going to need hospitalization, okay, that puts the hospitalization rate at 30 million people.
Oh man.
We will be Italy.
Yeah.
And that is a problem. And I'm scared for that because we don't have leadership that appears to be doing anything.
Right.
And if in fact that is the case, we have a lot more to worry about. The stock market will be zero. People will be bankrupt. That's like the worst case scenario. I don't want to be like, the sky's falling, but we have to be very, very careful and vigilant.
Also, guys, y'all have to start shopping for your groceries now. I looked online. Well, first of all, I went to Trader Joe's. There was like nothing there, and the lines were out the door. But then I started ordering groceries like I usually sometimes do on Amazon. It's going up to 5 days. And that's today. It said 5 days in order to get my groceries when I used to get it like right away.
Right.
So you guys be prepared out there. Not to scare everybody, but be prepared just in case.
All right, let's get to our immigration questions. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do?
All right, guys. Woo! That was tough, and that was very serious. But yeah, we need you guys all to take precautions, and we're doing this for you guys because we're all a family, all right? So now, everybody on Facebook, we need you guys to all start your watch parties, all right? We need to get this show out there. We need to make sure we help as many people as we can right now because this is a lot. There's a lot going on right now. And the way you guys can help us is with starting this watch party. Click share like that, and then it says host a watch party. It'll literally take the video from our page to your page. All right, simple like that. Now, everyone on YouTube, first things first, I need you guys all to please subscribe. Click the little red button and the bell right next to it. Make sure you find out anytime we go on. You never know, we might do a pop-up. That's a breaking news pop-up. If they call me at home and like, Jan, get to the studio, we might do that. And you won't know unless you click that little bell. So make sure you guys do that. And also put all your questions and concerns in the comment section right now because we will be doing our social media check-in after this. And everybody, give us a likes up, all right? I need you guys to all put a thumbs up, please, because we need to make sure that we show love to this video and we show love to our YouTube. All right. Now on Instagram, you guys can DM this video on Instagram Live easily. Just click on that share button and send it through a DM and just tag anybody, any of your friends or family. We have a lot of information that we want to start getting out to Instagram. We need to build, and the only way to build is through you guys. And last but not least, we have to tell you guys again about the competition that we're doing on Instagram. All you have to do is go to Brad Show Live and follow the page. And then this picture that comes up, you have to look for a picture. It's a post, it's a pink post with Brad, and this is it. It's to win a free consultation with Brad Bernstein himself. See the details below, and the details is a $200 value. A free consultation with Brad. All you have to do is follow the page, Brad Show Live. Brad Show Live. And then find this post, like it, and tag 5 friends to put your name in the name machine once, tag 10 friends to put it in twice, and so on, up to 4 times that you can do it. So 20 friends you tag will put your name in 4 times. All right, now, the meat and potatoes of the show. This is where you guys call in and get your answers to your immigration questions.
All right, let's go to Jessica in the Bronx. Jessica, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Hi everyone. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
My daughter petitioned for me.
Yes.
July, I received a receipt and I received an approval
Great.
yesterday. And today, I received another letter stating that I'm currently living in the United States undocumented.
Mm-hmm.
So I received another letter stating that the visa NVC is sending the visa to Jamaica.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Because you didn't file an adjustment application. How'd you come to America?
On a visa.
Okay, you didn't do the right form. You only did an I-130. That's why. You have to file an adjustment application. Otherwise, you're going to send you home to pick up your green card. So hold on.
So can I come in to see you?
Yes, you can. Hold on. Let's go to Mark in the Bronx. Mark.
Hi, Brad. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Yes, I got a question. I filed a I-130 petition for my mom. She's in the U.S. And I have to file a I-485.
Correct. That's the same as Jessica. That's the same as Jessica from the last question. Same exact problem.
Okay.
So yes, you have to do an I-485 and a whole adjustment package. If you need help, you can hold on 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to Arnell in Los Angeles. Arnell.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Brad.
How are you?
I have a question. We petitioned my 2 children in the Philippines last September 30. And my question is, are we going to use the I-864 or the new one?
You're going to use the
I-94.
You're going to use the I-864 and a new affidavit of support from the Department of State.
Still the I-864.
Yes.
Okay. And another question, please.
Yes.
Since my son is already 19 and the processing is 2 years, before they expire the out of age of my one boy, can we request to expedite the processing?
No, they're not going to expedite anything, but hopefully he
What
gets
we're
it before
going to
21.
do?
Well, he's 19 now, right?
Yeah.
And the priority date is what?
What?
Are you a citizen or a resident?
Resident.
Okay. When did you file for him?
Last September 2019.
And you have not gotten the I-130 approved yet, have you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let me just see what the priority dates are for Philippines. Did you look what the priority dates are for the Philippines?
Yeah. It's already April 18.
April. So the priority date's current.
Yeah.
And
current.
It's current. And you filed more than a year ago?
Last year only.
When? What month
September.
again? September?
September.
December. Yeah. The only thing you can do
is September.
Wait until September. You got to wait 12 months for them to approve an I-130. You'll get that extra year tacked on to his 21st birthday. But if more than a year doesn't happen, then you can file a mandamus.
A mandamus?
Yeah, but you got to wait 1 year.
So we need an attorney for that mandamus?
Yes, of course. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let's go to Esther in Philadelphia. Esther.
Yes, Brad.
How are you?
Happy, good. I have 2 questions, please. If possible, I would love to see you. Anyway.
Okay.
First question is, I came into the United States 2014 with DV program, me and my husband. But I have my child back home. I did not include him in the paperwork.
Who sponsored you? Who sponsored you?
My husband.
Your husband.
Me and my husband, yes.
Your husband was the petitioner?
Yes.
Okay. So how old's your child?
He is 17 right now.
Is your husband a citizen?
I think he just, we divorced last year anyway.
Is your husband a U.S. citizen? Are we having the same conversation?
No, together with DV program.
Oh, you did the DV program.
Yes.
Okay, that's different than he petitioned somebody. You got to turn around and file the I-130. You had to bring your son in the DV program with you. So if you didn't, at the end of that fiscal year, that's the end of it for him. So you got to file an I-130 for him now.
No, I mean, now I want to file in my
citizenship. You have to file an I-130 visa petition for him now. It's too late to get him on the DV.
Okay.
All right, hold on. I can help you. All right. Let's go to Marissa.
Oh, hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I and my husband, we filed back in June. I filed my I-130, and we had our interview in November 7th to be exact. And the agent said that, or officer said that, he'd be getting his green card. It'd be good for 2 years. If you have any questions, we'll get back to you. It's under review. Well, it's been over 120 days, and I swear my husband has heard you say that if it's gone past 120 days, and you can file for a writ of mandamus. So at this point, what we do?
What I've said is this. The law says you got to give them 120 days. By more than 120 days, you can start harassing them. But it's really, a judge is not going to, push them to do anything until they really are violating your rights, which would be about a year from the time of the interview. So between 120 days
you're
and a year,
interview.
just between, they are supposed to give an answer within 120 days. That's the law. At day 121, if you file a mandamus, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy for a judge. At day 365, you file for a mandamus, you will.
And let me be clear, because I've called multiple times and spoken with Tier 1 and Tier 2 officers. They keep saying that 120-day law, it only applies to naturalization applications, not for green card.
Not true. It applies
Didn't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
then last question. Do you think this whole coronavirus thing is going to slow down our process as a result of the government potentially being shut down?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Well, thank you for your help. We watch you all the time. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Eduardo in Oakland, California. Eduardo.
Oh, hi, Brad.
How are
How's
you?
it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. It's been 38 days since I filed my I-751.
Yes.
I got my 18-month extension, but so far I haven't got any biometrics. Do you think if I need to travel to my home country due to some illness and surgery, would I be able to reschedule that, or
Yes, if you
how much trouble?
if you go and you miss your biometrics, you could always come back and do it on any Wednesday. Just show up.
Okay, but how long do I have to do until I can do my biometrics after I'm gone? Like a month, two?
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to hold your case out forever, but if you miss it for a few weeks, nothing's going to happen.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine. I'm just gonna wait then.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Cindy in Dallas, Texas. Cindy.
Hi. Hello, sir. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. I have a few questions. My first one is WOW is still active, right?
Yes.
Okay. My second one is on August 2018. My mom, we filed an I-360 for my mom and an I-765 and an I-485 for me, and we received our first prima facie 1 month later.
Right.
And we knew that we could apply for some benefits.
Right.
Using the prima facie, and we went to the Social Security office near our home, but they denied us.
Okay, well,
So
I don't know why, but you're entitled to it.
Okay, so if we go to the Social Security office again, they should be accepting us,
Well,
right?
it depends. You can't apply for Social Security benefits, but you can certainly apply for other government assistance. It says in the prima facie what you're eligible for.
Okay, so in the prima facie it says itself. So if we're eligible for insurance, that would mention that too, right?
Yeah, and when you get your prima facie, it lists the things that you're eligible for, so just follow along there. I haven't read it in a few months, so I don't remember all the things.
Okay. And then I have another question.
Yes.
A while back, the center which had my case itself switched from my mom's. My mom's is in a place called Vermont.
Right.
Is that normal?
Sometimes. I wouldn't look into it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
They sometimes move work around depending on what their workflow is.
Okay, and then our case has been going on for more than 19 months now. How long would it take for us to get a green card?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. Yeah. Oh, and for 9 months ago, they did a biometric for my mom's 485 and 765, but she still has not gotten her work permit. Is that normal?
No, you should have gotten it already, but I don't know why you didn't get it. It takes about 4 to 6 months to get it.
4 to 6 months to get it. So what could we do to get any?
Come see a good lawyer like me. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right, and if you're in Texas, we do it by phone. Let's go to Tiana in Chicago. Tiana.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm calling on behalf of my sister. My sister is Nigerian.
Right.
She married a U.S. citizen. They filed for the I-71, and they had an interview coming up, but the husband filed for a
I don't know what
divorce.
an I-71 is. An I-751 or an I-130?
No, is it I-7? For the 10 years?
Okay, so it's the I-751.
Okay.
Okay.
And so he's filed for a divorce now. So will this have an effect on her?
Yes.
Getting a car?
Yes, she has to go in with the divorce and prove it was a real marriage, and she's no longer together with her husband. It's a different type of case. But she can still get a green card. All right, so hold on one second. Let's go to Anna in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Anna.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. First of all, I would like to thank you for educating us for free.
My pleasure.
You are doing awesome job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One, I'm going to U.S. citizen in 2 weeks.
Right.
And I'm going to move to Canada because my fiance is living down there. Is that okay, like, for me to move down there and live for a while and then come back here?
You're a citizen or a green card holder?
U.S. citizen.
You can live wherever you want. You can live wherever you want. You're a citizen.
And come back anytime, right?
Anytime.
Okay. My second question is for my friend. He was petitioned for his kids in Ethiopia, and he brought 2 of his kids in September, and the embassy denied 2 of them, and they they need a proof of age for those kids. All of them were underage.
Right.
And then they asked in their birth certificate, they tried to even went to the city in order to authenticate the documentation. They all checked that, and again, they refused the visa for 2 kids. And then now they request, like, proof of old age. And, like, what does that mean? Like, they
unfortunately in Africa, they don't believe a lot of the documents that you bring. They think, a lot of the marriage certificates and birth certificates are not legitimate. Rightfully or wrongly, that's what they believe when you're dealing with Africans at the U.S. Embassy and the entire continent of Africa. The reason why they want to know the children's ages is because if they're over 21, they would be in a different category than if they're under 21. And sometimes the embassy believes that you're bringing children who are 22, 23, 24 to the embassy and falsifying documents and saying they're younger so they can be on a faster line. I don't know what was submitted. I don't see the documents in front of me, so I would need to look at all of them and then, if necessary, speak to the embassy and ask them, what do you find objectionable about this particular document and what can we do to fix it? And then we take it from there.
So at this time, it's okay to have a lawyer involved in this case.
Absolutely. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let's go to Kalu in Hurst, Texas. Kalu.
How you doing, sir?
Hi. How are you?
Fine, sir. I have a little question. My wife and I, we've been married for 2 years now, and she filed for my adjustment of status.
Right.
And I got my work authorization, and prior to the interview, we had some confusion, and we got separated briefly. And during the interview, she actually showed up, or she requested that she closed the application for my R-130. Then now now my work authorization has expired, and is there any way that I can get a relief, or should I go forward or go for a
when
divorce?
you said, are you and your wife back together now, or are you still separated?
We are still separated, but she withdrew. She went for the interview and told the officer that she's closing her I-130 application.
There's nothing you can do. She withdrew the case. So at this point, you have 3 options when you have a marriage that broke down. And I say this all the time. Options 1 are make up with your wife and get back together and refile again. Option 2 is if, in fact, you were physically abused or had extreme emotional abuse, you can file a VAWA case. Or option 3 is if neither one of those are a possibility, get a divorce and fall in love again. Those are your options.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Lisa in Orlando, Florida. Lisa.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
What can I do to help you?
I have two questions. It's regarding a friend. She went on an interview, 485 interview, and she, about 2 to 3 weeks later on, she received a notice of intent. It says that the husband, which is the U.S. citizen, needed to write a letter explaining to them why they think the wife should be granted the visa. Now,
No, they're asking for proof that it's a bona fide marriage. When you have a notice of intent to deny, you haven't proven it's a bona fide marriage. That's what they're asking.
Okay, and they got 30 days for that response.
Right.
And they went to a lawyer. I did a consult with a lawyer, and the lawyer said that it makes no sense to send in a letter or anything. All they need to do is refile, and they will be denied, but they can, and they will be going to immigration court. So I'm just calling to find out what can be done in regards to that, because they have no clue.
I think you should respond to the notice of intent to deny and prove it's a real marriage.
Okay.
All right, so hold on one second.
One more question, I'm sorry. The questions that were asked, they had a Stokes interview where they were separate, and the husband, the questions, the answers wasn't corresponding.
You need to explain why the answers didn't correspond, and maybe this particular lawyer says there's no explanation. You guys screwed up. So what am I going to, I don't know. I always like to respond, because if you don't respond, then immigration starts to believe it's not a good marriage when maybe it is. So, so hold on one second, all right? Let's go to, who is this? This is Jay in Seattle, Washington. Jay.
Hi, I wanted to ask about a friend.
Yes.
He was charged with 2 DV assaults, and the prosecutor offered him a plea deal to plead guilty to 1 DV assault, but he asked his lawyer to see if he can make him plea for disorderly conduct.
Right.
I don't know if it's a DV.
DV is a deportable offense. Domestic violence is a deportable offense. So I don't think even as a misdemeanor.
Even with disorderly conduct.
A disorderly conduct is not a domestic violence.
Oh no! If that's the question. What his question was, if they offer him.
If it's a disorderly conduct is not domestic violence, it's not a crime. Domestic violence is domestic violence. Disorderly conduct is disorderly conduct.
Oh, so there's no actual disorderly conduct with the DV asterisk on
not in New York. I don't know where you are, but not in New York. Maybe in
Washington. Oh no, in King County. That's where he lives.
Yeah, maybe in Washington, Kings County in New York. There's no such thing.
Okay.
King County, Washington. That's different. I thought you meant Kings County here in Brooklyn. I don't know I don't know what the law is in Washington State. I can tell you in New York, you're either domestic violence or you're disorderly conduct. I never heard of having two. But I'm happy to review I'm happy to review the law in Washington and figure it out. So hold on.
Okay, and another question. When I see a lot of people asking you questions, sometimes you tell them it's if a crime is committed before 5 years. Sometimes you say after 7 years. I was just confused. Which one is it?
There's 2 different rules. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, domestic violence is a deportable offense no matter what. Okay. Whether it was 2 years, 5 years, 100 years. All right. If it's just a crime of moral turpitude, what the law says is one crime of moral turpitude that is committed within the first 5 years of your entry into the United States makes you automatically deportable. Nevertheless, you still need to be a permanent resident for 7 years.
Okay, perfect. So should I tell him to
call me?
Confirm with his lawyer about the disorderly conduct?
Yes. Hold on one second. Let's go to Jasmine in Yonkers. Jasmine.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi. How are you?
I'm calling to ask. My mother filed for me in 2017, and I got married recently. My husband started filing for me. But I want to know if I have to cancel my mother's filing since I just got married.
No, just file the adjustment through your husband. Leave your mother's case alone.
Pardon?
File the adjustment through your husband. Leave your mother's case alone.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Another question. If the I-130 has already approved, what next do I do?
File an adjustment through your husband.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. You need help. Let's go to Abraham in Alexandria, Virginia. Abraham.
Yes, Brian. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. I got a question for you. My question is, I was applying my N400 application, 2018.
Right.
I'm sorry. They give me the appointment interview 2018 October.
Right.
I went to the place, and then the officer told me he didn't receive my file. And they told me they're going to send me another interview later, but still I'm waiting 2 years.
This is for what type of case?
I'm asylum.
Asylum.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. Obviously, your file got lost. Before you start filing a mandamus to get them to give you an interview for your asylum, I would suggest we review it and make sure you have a good case. All right, but that's what I would do.
I'm saying already I finished my I grant my asylum approved like 2012. After that,
this is your adjustment application for asylum.
Yes, yeah.
Then you definitely just file a mandamus. So hold on 1 second if it's 3 years. Hold on 1 second, all right?
Okay.
All right, so that's what's going on there. Meanwhile, in today's Spar and Bernstein Attorney Close-Up, immigration attorney Shannon Laguerre-Mengret tells us how to make it easier for your attorney to get the best results in your case. Let's watch.
One way a client can make a case much easier for an attorney is by telling the truth. I emphasize that all the time. I don't know how many situations I've had where a client decided not to tell the truth, and if they had told the truth, I would have been able to assist them and actually be able to get either their green card or be able to keep them in the country. I think it's so imperative to be able to be honest with your attorney, to explain to them even things that you may think is not important, but explain it to them. If you've been arrested, you should tell your attorney that. I had a case not too long ago where the client didn't think it would show up because she had already done her fingerprints. And of course it showed up when we went into the interview. So again, it's really important to be very honest with your attorney so they might be able to assist you in being able to get the best result for you.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. What?
Every time we have any time to talk, we're talking about Corona.
Yeah. Yo-Yo and I were talking about the coronavirus during that whole entire thing.
Didn't even know that we came back on air.
Yeah, all right. So, here you go. Here you go. I thought you wanted to give me a high five.
No, hell no. Let's be real.
All right. As I drop Perel all over the computer. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered on our show, you can always follow me on @RealBradBernstein on Instagram. If you follow me and I happen to know who you are, or you look familiar to me, or just feel like being a nice guy, I will answer your questions if you drop me a DM. You can also follow @Bradshaw Live. If you follow @Bradshaw Live, you will see the best of Bradshaw Live, as well as all of our behind the scenes and a lot of other fantastic content on Instagram @Bradshaw Live. You can also watch us live, which people are doing right now @Bradshaw Live on Instagram. And you can also, if you follow us @Bradshaw Live, you can like this post, the pink one.
Yeah.
And if you like that post and tag 5 of your friends, you're going to be put in the name machine. And our boss, Nesquick, will pick out of the name machine somebody who's going to win a free consultation this coming up Wednesday.
There you go.
And Yo-Yo?
And you guys can follow me @Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
Meanwhile, talking about the boss lady, Vanessa Nesquick Contreras sat down with Spar and Bernstein's attorneys Moshe Baruch and David Moreno to talk about slip and fall cases and what people need to know in the event they're injured in a fall. Let's watch.
Spar and Bernstein personal injury attorneys Moshe Baruch and David Moreno, who are going to enlighten us today on slip and fall cases, what constitutes a slip and fall, and how does one go about getting compensated for their injuries.
So slip and falls, they fall under certain categories. So for example, if you're walking in front of a commercial storefront and it snowed 2 days before and they didn't shovel the snow and then you slip and fall on black ice or just moisture that accumulated in front of the space, that's your typical slip and fall type of case.
Okay. Does it matter where the slip and fall occurred?
Well, yeah, it depends on what property it took place on. So a lot of times in these cases, you'll find that one property owns the actual storefront and some other either county or individual independent private contractor may own the space in front of it or the parking lot. So it's really important to determine early on who's responsible for the maintenance of the area where the slip and fall took place.
Another reason why it's so important to determine where it occurred, if it occurred on city property, the city is usually responsible for it, and what you need to do is file a notice of claim within 90 days of the incident. If you don't, you've waived your rights. So that's why it's important to get an attorney immediately, because you may assume you have the original 3-year statute of limitation when you only have 90 days to file a notice of claim, which then requires you to file the lawsuit against the city within a year and 90 days. So these nuances are very important, and most lay people don't know these nuances, which is why you must contact an attorney, such as myself and David Moreno, when something like that happens.
Yeah, and I think one thing that it's important to elaborate on, because I think you touched on it early on, Moshe, and I want to make sure that they understand is, so you gave the example of there was a storm, and now there's a layer of ice that's formed, and 2 days later, slips and falls, and now they're injured. There's also some legal protections that gives companies, stores, businesses the benefit of doubt. If it's an actual storm in progress, they're not required to have it completely clear because it will be unreasonable. And this just goes back to the same thing we consistently talk about and where the law really wants to protect public policy, right? Because if we made the requirements so ridiculous that folks can't keep up with them, then it would hurt business and commerce.
Yeah.
And ironically, we had a case where a woman slipped and fell during a storm. And we were successfully able to defeat summary judgment that the defendants have filed. They argued the exact same thing David Moreno just said. They claimed that there was a storm in progress, and therefore it couldn't have been reasonable for them to continue to mop the area. But my argument was, we're not asking you to mop the area continuously. What we're asking you to do is just to go and investigate and see if there's a flood or whether you've mopped it, and they didn't do any of that. The law requires them to show maintenance records. Did they routinely go throughout the day and inspect the area for any defective conditions, such as a leak or accumulation of water? In this particular case, they didn't do that. We got our client 6 figures before we went to trial.
Yeah, got to take reasonable measures, even if there is a storm in progress.
Wow. What is there to be said in a case where there's a negligent property owner at work?
Very similar to what we stated before. You have to prove notice. You have to prove that the landlord, the owner of the premises, was aware of this defective condition. And if he wasn't aware, did he know or should he have known about this defective condition? Was it there for a sufficient amount of time for him to have reasonably inspected and then repair that defect? So that's the type of question you need to ask.
And I think a lot of you are probably thinking about it right now. It's not as simple as saying, like, I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it, right? If you're a business owner, then there's a duty for you to reasonably know what's going on your property, which is, like Moshe alluded to, basic maintenance records, knowing who's in charge of what. They got to show that. You can't just get rid of your duty because you decide to stay willfully ignorant. And I think one other question you asked early on that I want to touch on, what can you do to kind of build your case up, right? Yeah. Obviously, when you have the misfortune to slip and fall or to trip and fall, the last thing you're thinking of is personal injury lawsuit, right? But what you want to do if this ever happens, you ever find yourself in a situation, you want to document, right? Take photographs of the actual dangerous condition if it can be photographed as much as possible. If there are witnesses that come to your aid, which you'll find a lot of times, especially in New York City, people say we have a bad rap because we're rough, but if you see somebody fall, there's going to be a crowd around them right away trying to help them, right? I've seen it myself. I've been a part of it myself. Get the names of those people, right? Because if you get the names of them, then a clever attorney or an investigator can track down their number or their email later, and that can be an important witness for your case. So as much as you can to document and show what happened to you, do those things. Now,
gentlemen, so what is shared fault or comparative negligence in New York slip and fall cases?
So that's a good question. So just because you're injured as a result of a defective condition doesn't mean that the person who caused the defective condition is 100% responsible for the accident. For example, if you're carrying 2 briefcases that weigh 100 pounds and you're barely walking and then you trip and fall on a defective sidewalk, you're going to be apportioned a little bit of fault as to who caused the accident. Because If you didn't have these two heavy suitcases, you can argue that this accident wouldn't have happened, right? Because if you trip and fall on a defective sidewalk that's raised, that suitcase is going to propel you even further, right? Causing an extensive amount of damage and injury to you. So that's what they mean by shared responsibility or comparative negligence.
Okay, gentlemen, so with that being said, what do you consider for a client when they are offered a settlement versus going to trial when it comes to comparative negligence situations?
With comparative negligence, just like any other factor in a case, we take the whole picture into account, right? An experienced trial attorney is going to be thinking not only about our case, but what are the strengths and weaknesses of our opponent's case as well. So if we got a situation like the example that Moshe just gave, and our client was carrying 200-pound briefcases, and we know for a fact that they contributed to exacerbating the injuries, for example, because they were propelled further and the level of impact, was a lot greater than they would have been but for, those are two words again, but for their actual comparative negligence, then obviously in that case we might be less inclined to go to trial. But if they're not putting appropriate dollar amount to our client's injuries, then as aggressive trial attorneys, then I'm going to tell them the same 5 words I tell anybody else.
Right.
Put 6 in the box.
And another issue is, what are the person's damages? I mean, when I say damages, I mean, what are the person's losses, the injuries? Losses aren't only composed of actual physical injuries. A person might be injured and might be forced to stay out of work for the next 5 to 6 years. You have to hire economic experts to calculate exactly how much money that person would have earned had this accident not happened. So you have to take that into consideration as well, in addition to the physical injuries.
Yes, it's not as simple as if it's comparative negligence and our client's partially at fault that we settle. It's the totality of circumstances every single time that we look at.
So, gentlemen, with all this information shared with our audience, can you tell us about a slip and fall case in which you were able to get your client the compensation they deserved?
So I'll talk briefly about a trip and fall, which is relatively the same law. We had a client who was walking in front of a post office owned by a commercial landlord, and she tripped and fell over a raised sidewalk. The raised sidewalk wasn't really that elevated. It was a little bit above 2 inches. She tripped and fell. She fractured her knee, and she had herniated discs in her lower lumbar spine. We successfully showed that the defendants had constructive notice of the defect. We couldn't show him that he knew about this defect. He pretended like he didn't see it for all these years. But at the same time, they tried to argue that our client should have seen that. So I argued, well, your argument is that the landlord didn't know about it. How can you argue that it's visible and apparent on behalf of my client?
And the landlord's there every single day.
Oh,
right?
exactly. And we also showed that they didn't have any maintenance and repair records of the defective condition or anywhere around it, which is a prerequisite in order to get a case dismissed. So we successfully got 6 figures for our client on just a knee fracture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even that client, while she was of advanced age, it was really important because, and this is how we just get back to the totality of circumstances. Just because you have an old client, right, or an elderly client doesn't mean you can't recover money for them, right? Because we were able to also show through our client's deposition testimony, through her medical records, that before this accident, she was like a ripe young spring chicken, right? And despite being of advanced age, that had no bearing on her ability to recover, just like somebody young. I think that's an important thing to also take into account.
But one of the difficult things is, they tried to argue that she had degeneration. That's the word they always use, degeneration, which means that the body is going through wear and tear, which every human being goes through. But it's kind of hard to tell a jury that a fracture was caused by wear and tear. Because if she had a fracture to her knee, how is it that she was living a pain-free life prior to this accident, right? How is that the x-ray showed after the accident happened that there was a fracture? So the jury wouldn't have bought that, and they understood that, which is why they paid before trial.
If she had degeneration that led to a fracture, she wouldn't be walking to the post office to begin with.
Right. Yeah. And we have a beautiful law in New York. It's the eggshell plaintiff law that says that you take your plaintiff as you get them. So if a person is prone to an accident, right? For example, you're a healthy young woman, right? I'm a healthy young man.
Yep.
Mr. Moreno's a healthy young man. We're less prone to get injured as opposed to somebody in their advanced age. But the law treats them the same. It doesn't matter, which is a good thing here in New York.
Yeah, that was actually literally my favorite case, my favorite scenario in law school. Because I remember in the law book, there was a picture of like a Humpty Dumpty kind of guy. He was an eggshell plaintiff, and he fell and suffered catastrophic injuries. And someone like Moshe, for example, had the same exact, tripped over the same thing, and he was less hurt. So it didn't matter that this guy was already prone to injuries. Because he was hurt by the negligence of the actual property owner, he was entitled to recover for everything that was rightful due to his actual injuries.
Fully, without any mitigation as a result of his or her advanced age. That's the beauty of the New York State law.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you for sharing all that information with us. Brad Squad, for any personal injuries, please contact us at Spar and Bernstein. Call 1-800-529-5465.
Successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, we're going to do something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, everyone. Our first one comes from Melissa Robinson saying, hey, Brad Squad, just wanted to know, where are they with the F1 petitions?
Were they with the F1 petitions?
Yes.
Where are they with the F1 petitions?
Coming in strong.
Coming in strong. In third place, F1 now. They're up to October 8th, 2013.
Awesome. All right, Demore saying approved I-130 sent to NVC, but I have a pending AOS. Question 1, how do I get the case back to NVC to USCIS?
Just write NVC and say I have a pending AOS. Here's a receipt notice.
And is it going to be a problem with the AOS?
No.
Okay, JN Pereira saying I lost my original letter, so when I respond to my RFE without original RFE letter, do I explain USCIS that why I'm submitting a photocopy?
Submit a photocopy with the barcode. As long as it has a barcode, you're fine.
Miss Ugbaba saying, as an international student on F1 visa, what are the fastest routes aside of marriage to file for PR?
Lots of different ways. Get sponsored in a job.
All right. Kiss Boo 1994 saying, does a divorce for 4 months after receiving my green card affect citizenship based on the 5-year rule?
No.
Amazingly Dior saying, I just...
Uh-oh. That's the end of the show. Take
All
it.
right,
No,
guys.
No, we're only kidding. It was just a cough.
Okay. Amazingly Dior.
Excuse me. Now I'm okay.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
You had to...
Uh-oh.
No show, guys. Amazingly Dior.
Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazingly Dior said, I just received my notice of action to do biometrics. What's the next step I should take?
Nothing. Just wait for them to send you a work permit.
Ciao Bella saying, for a hardship waiver 601, not A, can my LPR parents mention how sick their parents are? We take care of them, and two will medical records be enough proof, or will I need more proof?
That's a problem because you need to give an affidavit of support to show that they're not going to be a burden on the government, and now you start showing that how sick they are. Mm-hmm. Then that says, oh, wait a second, we're going to be a burden on the government. So go speak to a lawyer.
Brooke Brown saying, if my fiance son is on the K-1 application, however, will not be traveling with him, does he need to attend the interview?
No.
Sugar Sweetness Sunshine Legister.
Yes.
Saying, hey, Brad, they just applied my fingerprint to the I-131 file. Do you think I'll be getting my EAD and advanced parole anytime soon?
I hope so.
Emma Obo.
Yes.
Saying, my brother and his wife went for a Stokes interview. At the end, the immigration officer said, bona fide, when the videotape was still on. Will it be submitted to a supervisor?
I don't know what they're doing with the videotape, but the officer believes it's a real marriage, so good for you.
Okay, Lucy Okandeji saying, can a hospital file for you if your U.S. citizen child is not allowed to leave the U.S. due to his medical issues?
Yes.
Mercy saying, I have my interview for citizenship. After 120 days, I was sent a letter to provide more information on my kids and ex-husband kids.
And?
And that was it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what the question is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you guys ask the question if you're going to send
if you give a whole something like that, right.
Yeah. Anthony Bello saying, okay, that's not a question either.
Okay.
That's just a statement. Tanisha saying, I resubmitted my affidavit of support after it was rejected. How long do they normally take to review?
120 days.
Leslie saying, I have a pending VAWA. Now I received a biometric appointment notice. What should I expect after my biometric is completed?
Wait for an interview for your green card, and hopefully you'll get your work permit. By the way, Lisa Bling-Rose says you should be running.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Listen, I hope they'll have behind the scenes after we close the show today.
Yeah.
You won't even see me here. You'll just see a dust.
You'll be like the Black Flash.
There you go.
Right. Is there a Black Flash?
There will be tonight. You'll see a Black Flash tonight.
Tonight there is.
Okay. Listen, I don't know about the past, but you will see it tonight. All right. Donna Roden asking for a friend. Mom filed for a daughter who is 21 or over 21, lives outside the U.S., was here and overstayed her visa. She lives on her own decided to come back to the country. She was denied entry and expedited removal was stamped in her passport. Well, her visa is now approved for
She needs a waiver
her
for a
green card.
prior order of deportation.
Yeah, and they're going to say, will she need a
Yes.
waiver before
Yes.
the interview?
The answer is yes.
Okay, last one for right now. Ajoke saying, quick question for my big sister. She married to a U.S. citizen and divorced after 2 years. She filed for I-751 herself and got an 18-month extension last year in July. The question is, one, while waiting for the 10-year green card, can she file for a citizenship?
She can theoretically, but they're not going to approve it.
Two, is it 5 years of living in America or 5 years of green card? Can someone file for a citizenship?
5 years of green card.
There you go.
All right, so we sent this guy next to me out on the streets to test people's knowledge of cities in the United States where immigrant cultures have settled.
Ooh.
You can actually visit different cultures all across the globe without ever leaving the United States of America.
This is true.
See if you heard of these awesome towns in our new game, Around the Globe in 50 states.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy, Jonathan Elias. Now, on the show, we're always talking about how this country is made up of immigrants, people from all over the world, but we never really talk about the ethnic neighborhoods and the different cultures that settled in those neighborhoods. Yeah, you can visit far and away exotic cultures without even using your passport right here in America. And you guys might want to visit these cities, so let's test everybody and see if you guys know where some of the cultures actually settled in America with a new game we like to call Around the Globe in 50 states. What's your name and where you from?
My name's Malachi. I'm from Queens.
Hey, Queens, New York, up in the building. Do you rap?
Yeah. Oh, do I rap? Yeah, I do rap.
Vanilla Already, and I'm from Haiti.
Hey, Sapase.
Nabule.
Yeah.
Chilling with my man talking about immigration. I'm trying to win and I got no hesitation.
Tariq, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, BK in the building.
I'm just trying to see what's up. Dude's looking fresh. People know the rest. I'm trying to say what's up next.
Ireland!
And I'm from the West because I'm going to LA. People see me in the Bay. They're just like, hey.
What? Malachi!
Whoa.
All right, first question. Andersonville is a neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois. It is a home to a high population of immigrants from which country? Swedish immigrants, Palestinian immigrants, Moroccan immigrants, or Canadian immigrants?
I'm going Canadian.
Moroccan.
Moroccan.
She is the only one who got a Swedish. The answer is A. Andersonville, Illinois was founded by Swedish immigrants in the 1850s and is said to have one of the highest populations of people with Swedish heritage in the country. The town is only 15 minutes from Lake Michigan, but when you walk through, you will find Swedish restaurants and bakeries. The famous Swedish American Museum of Chicago, whose opening ceremony was attended by King Carl Gustaf of Sweden himself, and one of Chicago's most popular street festivals, Midsummer Fest. Solvang, California, is a city settled by immigrants from which country? Vietnam, Ireland, Wales, or Denmark?
Wales.
Vietnam.
Everybody said it. It's actually Denmark.
Denmark.
Got the 3 Denmarks. You guys got it.
You know Solvang, bro.
The answer is D, Denmark. Between 1820 and 1990, more than 375,000 Danes immigrated to the United States. The town of Solvang was founded over 100 years ago by a group of Danish teachers that named it Sunnyfield or Solvang in Danish. Which state has the largest concentration of Slovenian immigrants? North Dakota, California, Ohio, or New York?
New York.
New York.
California.
She's killing it right now. Ohio! The answer is C. Now, Ohio is home to over 50,000 Slovenian Americans. The first Slovenes to arrive in the United States in the early 19th century were Catholic missionary priests. By the early 1900s, approximately 30 to 40,000 Slovenian immigrants lived in or around the Cleveland, Ohio area, making it a center of Slovene America culture. The Cleveland metropolitan area remains home to the largest population of Slovenians in the world outside of Slovenia. Which state is home to the largest concentration of Filipinos? Is it New York, California, Florida, or Nevada?
New York.
It's either New York or California.
California.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with California.
There you go. There you go, Malachi. Come on.
The Pacific.
There you go.
I know my stuff. I know my state.
The answer is B, California. I actually knew this because I grew up with a lot of Filipinos. Now, over 1 million people who are living in California are of Filipino descent, and Tagalog is the 4th most spoken language in California. Awesome. Which city has the largest Indian population? Jersey City, New Jersey, Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, or New York, New York?
I want to say Chicago. It's got to be New York, New York.
Yeah. New York, New York.
Almost. New York.
There you go. The answer is D, New York, New York. According to the 2013-2017 U.S. Census, the New York region is home to the largest Indian American population of any U.S. metropolitan area of over 700,000 individuals. At least 24 Indian American enclaves known as the Little India now exist in the New York City metropolitan area. And as of December 2019, Air India as well as United Airlines were offering direct flights from New York area to the Delhi and Mumbai. Awesome. We're gonna get the most out of everybody right now.
Really?
Yeah. How you feel about that?
I feel good.
Queens represented.
I studied college.
Yeah. Got his education.
Got all that.
All right. What state has the highest concentration of Jamaican immigrants? Florida, Connecticut, New York, or California?
I gotta say New York.
Of course. Come on, Brooklyn, Eastern Parkway, man. That's where the best carnival is. You finished off with a bang. Good job, guys.
It's got to be New York.
There you go. Yeah. Finish it off.
New York.
Easy. Easy. I knew you were gonna get that. The answer, of course, is New York, New York. The largest influx of Jamaicans came to the U.S. in the mid-1960s and then again in the mid-1980s. According to migrationpolicy.org, skilled professionals have consistently constituted a high share of Jamaican immigrants to the United States. The 2000 census results showed that over 500,000 Caribbeans are living in New York City, with Jamaicans and Haitians as the largest groups. Boy. Booyaka. All right, there you have it, Brad Squad. I hope you guys enjoyed the new game Around the Globe in 50 States. This game just proved that you can visit any state and get a taste of just about any culture from all over the world. And I hope that you guys appreciated it. All right, back to the studio.
All right, let's put, what are we putting on? A minute 10 on the clock?
Yeah.
Something we like to call a speed round. Yeah, I mean, it's like nothing. Like we can.
Should I let the clock go?
You can let the clock run to a minute. You want to make it fun? Let's make it fun and make the clock run to a minute.
Okay.
We'll just be silent for the first 10 seconds.
Moment of silence for Rona.
Yes. Where's Julian with our clock? There we go.
All right.
All right.
So
ready? All right. All right. Just started. Who cares?
Just chill.
Just
all
chill.
Right. Okay.
Put our foot up.
Right.
All
right. Ready?
Yeah.
My question is, who is to fill out the I-94 form? Is petitioner or the spouse? Or sponsor?
The beneficiary.
Okay. What is use of the I-864W when the father of the child has submitted an I-864 form?
I don't know why you would need a W.
Okay. Is public charge going to affect applying for citizenship? Had green card for the last 10 years. How long does it take to approve the F2A visa for a child 20 years old and abroad?
About 5-7 years, it's going to be F2B.
I'm on a CARE program for my electricity and gas bill. Will that be considered public charge?
I don't know what CARE program means.
How can I provide a bona fide marriage with my wife who lives abroad?
You have pictures, you travel, you send money.
Is a plea deal to DV, disorderly conduct, a deportable?
Disorderly conduct, no. DV, yes.
Okay, how long after citizenship is swearing?
About 90 days.
Can public charge affect kids?
No.
Does your affidavit of support have to be a citizen?
No. By the way, public charge can affect kids. I don't even know what that even means. The answer is yes.
Okay. Well, we did it.
Yeah, we did it anyway.
Yes.
After taking
10-second
yeah, but
break.
I don't know what was there was one question where like what kind of medical thing?
Yeah. So let's see.
No. It's like there was like so he took some sort of medical benefit or something. I'm like I don't know what that was. Crown medical benefits or something. Crown. What's Crown medical benefits? We can Google that and
program. Not the program for the program for the electricity or gas bills. You say you don't know what program that is.
Yeah, I don't know what program he's talking about. That was it.
That was it. So he's on the CARE program for the electricity.
CARE. I don't know what CARE program is.
Yeah.
But somebody just lay one. Sounds like somebody
We
laid
won.
one.
We did it in a minute.
Sounds like somebody just laid
I
one
know.
out,
That
right?
sounds like, whoa.
Yeah, like
what's
what's going on there? Ooh, it's kind of smelly in here. But maybe it kills the coronavirus, so
Okay,
keep
then
doing
do
it.
more. Do more.
Care, what is it called? I'm going to Google it.
Okay, it's a care program for electricity.
Electricity. Care program, electric bill, eligibility. How do you qualify for the care program? Low income, women, infants. You would it depends on why you qualify for it. Some people qualify because they're getting disability, so that would be fine. Other people qualify because they're
Or low
getting
income.
WIC. That would not be fine.
Right.
So it depends. It's not the care program, it's the underlying benefit that you're getting that allows you into the care program.
There you go.
There you have it. All right, comments of the day.
All right, guys, our first comment of the day comes from Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, Brad gives it how it really goes. Straight talk.
I like it, Carol.
Yeah.
I like it. We haven't had a comment of the day from Carol in a while.
I know. That
Yes.
felt good. All right, second comment of the day comes from our girl Sandra Salinas saying, I want to be a fly in Brad's studio.
That's not bad.
Is that you on the wall right
That's
here?
not bad.
Look right here. Look at Sandra.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of craziness.
Yes.
A lot
That's
of
right.
craziness. You probably want to be a fly in the
control room.
the control room. That's where all the fire
Yes.
happens.
That's right.
All right.
We're sane compared to the people compared to the people in the control room.
Our third comment of the day comes from Kashif Brown saying, Brad is not in the mood today because of the coronavirus, so go easy with a lot of the questions.
He is right. He
This
is
is-
absolutely right.
That's crazy.
It's a very uneasy time. I wear my heart on my sleeves.
Yeah, or Kashif might be a fly in the studio.
Maybe, but I do wear my heart on my sleeves, so
do.
you can tell. They know. They know
Yeah.
how I'm feeling.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
It ain't all that right
Yes,
now
yeah,
over here.
yeah.
Our last comment of the day comes from Toya Wells saying, I just want to say thank you, Uncle Brad, for the great work you're doing for immigrants, the free consultation and the social media extra lesson. I went on my interview and was approved for my CR. Woo!
Congratulations. At least we have some good news.
Yes.
That's the first good news I've heard all decade.
Oh,
And that's not
not
true.
true.
It's the first good news I've heard
in the last
35 seconds.
There you go.
All right. All right, everybody. Please be safe. Please make sure that you don't do anything unsafe. Wash your hands. If you touch a surface, make sure you don't touch your face. If you are living with somebody who's infirmed, you're elderly, please be careful. Don't go out unless you have to. We are not going to be on the air tomorrow. We are going to be back. Our intention is to be back on Monday. We will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?